everybody. Welcome to another episode of HyperOtaku Presents Anime Club here on Hyper RPG. I am Emma Fife, joined as always by Matt Acevedo.
What's going on, everybody?
And our very special guest host today, Markeia McCarty.
Hey, right here, ready to talk.
Thanks for being with us today, Markeia.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thrilled. I'm glad that we're going to get our Bebop on.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you on the show. We are going to be breaking down sessions 10 through 17, so that is the middle 8 episodes of Cowboy Bebop in just a little bit here. But first, how's everyone's week going? Everybody having a good old time?
Yeah, things are going pretty well.
Yeah?
Things are going pretty well. Guys, I finally beat Detective Pikachu, and I am a huge advocate of that game. I will say the gameplay is very easy. And and I think there's going to be a sequel, and I would love a sequel, but I think they should improve it to like Professor Layton stuff.
Okay.
But the story, I'm like, I didn't think I'd be into this, but dang, Pikachu delivers, I think.
Where would you like to see a like sequel to Detective Pikachu go without fully spoiling the ending or anything?
I mean, like, they leave it open. Like, they don't solve something, and I'm like, but I have a theory as to, like, why. Ooh. And I'm like, I did not think this game was going to be that crazy, but I'm like, this is a blast. And it's definitely, like, a visual novel, but damn, guys, like I said, I did not think I was going to like this game. I really enjoyed that game. It was so enjoyable, for sure.
And Markeia, you seem to have brought a prop with you today. It looks like some swag.
yeah, just like fun stuff, because I know we were talking about anime and everything like this. This is a Tokyo Ghoul. I have not watched this yet.
Live action.
We have seen it.
Did we
yes.
have it? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
okay.
It is, anime live action films are notoriously not necessarily always so great, but that one is actually really, really enjoyable.
Good job with that, for sure.
And I think the thing that's really strong about that Tokyo Ghoul movie is they really focus on the horror aspect of Tokyo Ghoul. Not that the series isn't horror anyway, it is, but that they really, really hone in on it, and the visuals are disturbing. I really like it. Yeah.
I kind of want that. I'm in that stage of my, for me, I've gone through different stages when it comes to anime.
Sure.
And now I'm going back through a catharsis stage when it comes to
Got
anime.
it.
So I like darker themes right now, like
nice.
Gonzi and Ajin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
It's on
I'm going through that to just be like, this, like, with Ajin, with it's like, he's just a regular boy. He's kind of sociopathic, and now he can't die. And how's this going to turn out?
This took a turn.
Yeah. Like I've seen the entire series. I'm picking back through it.
Nice. Yeah. Whereas I'm going through a 70s anime phase, which is just my natural state. Uniqlo just released a new fashion line with Rose of Versailles. Is anybody else into Rose of Versailles?
Okay.
It's so good. It's on Crunchyroll, guys. You should watch Rose of Versailles. It's great. It's about Marie Antoinette before the French Revolution, and really it's about Lady Oscar, who's her sort of personal bodyguard and confidant, and it's great. It's
I need to go to
Nice.
Uniqlo in general. I
man.
Everyone has this. There's such great anime fashion.
I know, but they have a cool Marvel collection right now too. So,
dude,
Uniqlo, if you want to sponsor this show, we'll take it. Okay, let's get into some news for this week. So, first up, the first visual for the upcoming YuYu Hakusho OVA has been revealed, featuring fan favorites, or at least my favorites, Kurama and Kie. This is most likely from the animated adaptation of the manga bonus chapter 2-shot detailing how the two met, which serves as the basis for one half of the OVA, the other being the manga's penultimate chapter, All or Nothing, which features the main characters resolving a hostage crisis in the spirit world. The new OVA is set to release with the fourth part of the series' 25th anniversary Blu-ray collection on October 26th in Japan. Matt, as a connoisseur of all things Studio Pierrot, Black Clover notwithstanding, what is your take on the upcoming original video animation?
I mean, I think it's going to be great. First off, we haven't seen them. Like, what was the last fight? Who was that last fight in the Spirit tournament? We haven't seen them since then.
Yes, we have not.
It was Tomi?
Tomi?
It's been so long since I've seen it.
It's been a while since I watched Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
Though I started rewatching it, but I haven't made it to that final tournament yet.
I think this is going to be a nice revamp for the series, and I think it's going to be, like, the animation stuff's going to be there, and they have the original voice actors coming in, too,
yeah,
which is
that's
great.
the thing that really excites me about this, is that we're going to be seeing new anime. Like we're going to be seeing Studio Pierrot now.
Yes, exactly.
Doing Yu Yu Hakusho, and it was fantastic at the time. It's a great animation studio, but I'm really excited to see what they do with it in the current day.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, like the original voice actors are coming, except for I don't remember. There's like one of them of the original crew is not coming back.
Yeah.
But I think it looks really promising, and I'm ready for some more Spirit Gun action. I haven't seen it in
totally,
so
man.
long.
Good old Spirit Gun.
I know that Hunter x Hunter is like finally picking up again, but it'll be nice to jump back to something a little different from that writer. So I'm really excited to see them in action.
Have you watched Yu Yu Hakusho, Markeia?
I haven't. I'm just like looking at both of you like, oh, okay, so this is going on my list.
Really good.
All right, because I like the passion with that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then hearing Haset's situation in a Spirit World, I'm like, ooh,
Yes.
because I love Spirit World stuff. That negative zone, like all
Sure.
of that is like I'm on board with it.
I mean, it's like part fighting anime, part detective story, part undead spirit world kind of stuff. It's a really good
Spirit
show.
detective.
Yeah,
It's great.
Spirit detective.
And like the cast of like side characters and stuff are so good.
Yeah, it's Kurama and Hiei are my absolute
I think
favorites.
you nailed it, right?
Yeah.
I always wanted to be Hiei because he was so cool and dark and brooding.
I clearly have a thing about roses. So I love Kurama. All right. So the hottest thing in pro sports right now, you guessed it, because this is an anime show, anime. The internet went wild last Monday, April 30th, when NBA player Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers was seen watching anime courtside to get amped up for a game. The video shared on Twitter by @NBA on TNT did spark a little controversy, though, because he was watching Dragon Ball GT.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he didn't start there.
GT and those who laud the canonical Super as vastly superior naturally got into a little bit of a Twitter argument on this thread. Markeia, what is your take on the whole GT versus Super situation?
I don't GT. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm just not, because I started from episode 1 with it with Dragon Ball. And it's like, this is good. This is good when you have like steps and levels. You have to earn it. And a Super Saiyan takes like 3 episodes.
Yeah, man.
And then you get to GT and it's like, I'm going to destroy planets because I coughed.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that just happened. And it's like, it's too big.
And also, we had all this progress with Goku. And you know what? We're just going to make him a kid again, because why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just rewind it all back.
And those weird, like, monkey Super Saiyans. You
Dude,
remember
for
them,
real.
like, Super Saiyans in that?
With their monkey tails.
Yeah.
It's like, because they're Saiyans, so they gotta have their tails and stuff. But I kind of get it. I kind of understand. Like,
Sure.
I have a lot of friends, like in college and high school, who grew up who'd never really watched anime, but they watched Dragon Ball, anything Dragon Ball. So GT was like a huge thing for them, even though it wasn't that good. They still hold it really close, because it's for them. It was all about, they're also very athletic and stuff like that too. My friends, and it was all about powering up and exceeding your limits and going beyond. They kind of stayed by that. It's like, I totally get it, to amp up before a game, like GT, like Super Z, whatever. I think that's a good thing to watch.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching GT as a kid, because we had fan subs of GT that we got at a weird store in the Waterbury Mall in Waterbury, Connecticut, where my cousins lived there. Anyway, it was near where they lived. But I remember liking it when I first watched it, just because I liked Pan as a character, and I liked that we were kind of getting a potentially Super Saiyan girl character. It never really goes there.
No. Yeah.
And thank goodness for Super, because we finally do get to see some girl Super Saiyans, which is awesome.
Is so good.
But yeah, I mean, I recognize now how silly GT was, but as a 14-year-old or whatever, it was cool.
It was cool. Yeah, and we were hungry for more Dragon Ball. So
Totally.
like, back then, it was like, I remember watching it. I don't remember what went on in it, but I remember watching it still because it was Dragon Ball, and it made me excited.
Yep.
And I just saw it kind of like fan fiction made alive.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
like, and then what if we turn this into 11?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is definitely true. And the king of all things Dragon Ball in North America is, of course, our friends over at Funimation, who recently announced plans to produce not 1, not 2, but 3 limited edition Cowboy Bebop Collector's Edition Blu-ray box sets in honor of the series' 20th anniversary.
Very nice.
They range in price from $250 to $500, and while, of course, the more expensive options get you more stuff, all come packaged in a limited edition rigid collector's box and include both a 200-page hardcover art book and every hipster anime kid's dream, the entire soundtrack by the wonderful Yoko Kanno on vinyl.
Oh man,
there it is.
Nothing like sitting
There it
around
is,
a
right
circle
there.
with some friends and
just popping in your Cowboy Bebop records.
Yeah, that's like some of my
Dang.
favorite stuff, like anime soundtracks, definitely.
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop,
Yeah.
yes. Persona 5, yes.
Oh my God,
man,
the
yeah.
Persona 5 soundtrack is
Everything
so good.
Zelda. It's like, this is what I listen to.
Side note,
like,
have you watched any of the Persona 5 anime?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, right?
And there was like I'm in another replay of that because
Totally. No, it's a
Yeah.
great game.
I can't give you up. I can't
know,
give you up
it's
Persona
like-
5.
And the
It's
anime
so
makes you want
fun.
to play it. You know?
Exactly.
I watched the anime. I was like,
Exactly.
I just want to play the game.
Yeah, and they have like dancing videos online.
Yes,
Watch
the dancing all
those.
night stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
But getting back to Cowboy Bebop, this is the thing with these Blu-ray collector's editions, though, is they will not happen unless they get 1,000 pre-orders. So basically,
Yeah.
for every tier, any tier that reaches 1,000 pre-orders will definitely get produced. So it's possible only one of them will get produced, or all three of them, just depending on how those reservations end up going. Head over to Funimation.com/Bebop20th for more details on that. And also, if you guys are dying to watch Cowboy Bebop right now, but you don't have Hulu,
What?
and you don't have Funimation now, we
What do
have
you
got
do?
Oh, goodness.
something very special for you, which is a code to use to get $5 off your first month of Funimation Now, Funimation's streaming service where you can find Cowboy Bebop. Here's the really cool thing, guys. Funimation Now only costs $5.99 a month. So basically, you are going to get your first week for 99 cents, or your first month for 99 cents.
right.
Even
Yeah.
better.
Whoa.
There you go.
Yeah, so just head on
That's
over
less
to
than $1.
Funimation to sign up for their streaming service. Use the code HyperMHA. That is HyperMHA. MHA, of course, standing for My Hero Academia. Be sure to check out our sweet My Hero Academia Hero Challenge. It's really a bright, positive spot on the internet.
It really is.
And that code is limited to only the first 500 people. So be sure to act now so you get the chance to get your first month of Funimation for just 99 cents.
Yes, do it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Do the
Good
thing.
deal.
That's a month of sweet
Might-
dubs, man.
might as well try it
those
out.
are some like real good dubs.
It really, they have so much on there too. Because
They do.
I, for the longest time, only had Crunchyroll because I tend to watch my
Yeah.
anime in Japanese with subtitles, and I thought, I don't know if I need to get Funimation. I wanted to watch the Dragon Ball Super dub, obviously, because
Right.
I grew up watching the Dragon Ball dub,
Yeah.
so that is just kind of I enjoy it that way. I like it with subtitles too. I happen to enjoy that dub. But then when I did sign up for Funimation, I discovered that they have this huge library.
It's
so
big. They have,
if
like,
you're
flares on there and
yeah,
stuff. It's like,
if
yeah.
you're
Yes.
old like me, you will love Funimation now because all the stuff you watched as a kid is on there, and for the most part, both dubbed and subbed. So check it out.
Do it.
Cool.
All right.
I need to finish Bleach sometime.
Yeah, right. Should all you
like
know.
all of it.
All right. So moving on to Cowboy Bebop.
Let's do this.
Yeah. So episodes 10 through 17 we are talking about today got into a lot more plot.
Yes.
Than the first
Yes.
few episodes that we talked about last week.
Definitely. We got a couple one two-parter.
One two-parter, yeah, Jupiter Jazz.
We
Yeah.
still got a couple like fun one-shot episodes, but we get a lot more backstory too. We
Yeah.
get,
And
Yeah.
not just for Spike, because
No.
we had one episode, the Ballad for Fallen Angels, in the first
Like
9
episode 5 or
episodes.
something,
That there was, you did get a little bit of Spike's backstory in that,
Yeah.
but you didn't. You had some hints about what Phase was when she was first introduced. We knew next to nothing about Jet's backstory, and
Right.
in the course of these few episodes, we actually got 2 backstory episodes for him.
That's
yeah,
true.
him and Alyssa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
All the time.
really,
I love
yeah,
that
yeah. Ganymede Elegy.
Yeah, I enjoyed. Just okay. So when I first saw Cowboy Bebop, and this is like back when, I don't know, like high school or something. I saw it super late. I wasn't about it. I loved the music and still love the music, but actually I felt the overt over sexualization of Faye was just such a turnoff for me. And then the kind of infantilizing of Ed.
Sure.
I couldn't really get on board with it. So when you asked me for this, I'm like, all right, let me give this another round. And then going through these episodes and watching it, I was like, you know what? There's actually, my earlier concerns are still valid.
Sure.
But it's actually really enjoyable. I liked that a lot of the episodes were like standalones that were of a particular genre.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you had like an Alien-esque
episode.
Oh my God.
Episode.
It's right, but it was a comedy with
Exactly.
Toys in the Attic.
Yeah,
So,
it's
we
like, that
just
is
went through
nuts.
something like that here at Hyper with this cooler in the front yard for months. Remember that cooler?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do.
I
Gone
remember
now.
that cooler.
I'm glad you guys didn't open that
I have
cooler.
to say, after I watched Toys in the Attic, I thought I need to immediately go clean my fridge.
Oh man, that's a fun episode. But yeah,
Yeah.
I get that. We get a lot more depth. Like we Faye is more than just like like.
I mean, they still utilize those male gaze shots like a lot, you know.
But she's like so much more than that.
Yeah, it feels like she's owning it herself more than when I viewed it when I was
I
younger.
completely agree
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
on that because I remember being a little concerned about that when I watched this show. I was probably 14 the first time I watched Cowboy Bebop. But I remember really liking Faye as a character, but it's an issue that I've talked about on other shows. I'm not sure if I've ever addressed it here on Hyper, but there was in sort of the mid-late 90s, this was your era of your Laura Crofts with her big pixelated boobs. And it was one of those things where I felt like this is unfortunate that you have these really great female characters because Faye is a great character. She's very complicated. She's very nuanced. She makes a lot of selfish choices.
I love
which
the
is
backstabbiness.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
Which
is
is just fun. She's a total rogue.
yeah, it's so fun for a woman to be that kind of character, to just really be an agent of chaos and not care, but at the same time have vulnerabilities of she doesn't really know who she is because when she woke up from cryosleep, she had no memory of her past.
Oh my God, that sucks.
Yep.
Right? Where it's just like everybody, thinks about that. It's like, oh, how would I survive?
Yeah.
And it's like, here's
something
this
like
giant
that.
amount of debt.
Yeah.
That's basically a scam. But it's like, but who are you at the same time?
Sure.
And then
Like,
the first person that treats you well after you wake up then adds to your debt. It's like,
what a jerk.
oh, it's painful.
Super
It's
jerk.
So painful.
But getting back to the point of drawing these women in these very sexualized manners, I do think that it does a little bit of a disservice to the character from the point of view that it can be a little alienating to women who otherwise I think would really enjoy these characters. You're kind of putting a barrier in their way in a way that we don't see in something like, in my opinion, A Woman Called Fujiko Mine, which is one of the Lupin the Third series that is from the perspective, it's all about Fujiko Mine, the girl. And in it, she's naked a lot, but the series is directed by a woman.
Okay,
And it
that
makes
does
a
make
difference. It makes
Yeah.
a difference.
It does make a difference.
I think that, and we talked about this on the previous episode of Anime Club, I think that part of the reason that the women characters in this are so interesting is because, the main writer was a woman on Cowboy Bebop. But, I totally agree with you that there's a little male gaze in the animation. And I don't know how much of that was Shinichiro Watanabe and how much of that was Sunrise, but it definitely exists. But as you say, you can overlook it because it does feel like she's completely in control of her sexuality. And I also just really love a girl character who's super not ladylike at all.
Yeah, definitely.
Like she tries her best. Like she tries to play it off that she has all these feminine charms, but she loses her temper real fast. And it's a lot of fun. But the story where we get a little look into her backstory definitely adds another layer of depth
You really
to that
feel for her.
character.
It makes sense why she doesn't trust anyone.
Yeah.
Why
It's
would
just-
she?
Why exactly?
The first person she trusted, it was just like a total con artist.
Yeah.
And then
Messed
what?
up.
3 years later, runs into him again. He's like, "Oh, hey, you're looking good," and then tries to work the game on her again.
Yeah.
I'm just like, man, you just can't win.
Nope.
You can't win in the future,
No.
Nope.
No way.
man. But yeah, it was just what the arc that happened in these stories. So for the first one,
Ganymede Elegy.
there it is. So for that one, you find out more about. I keep on wanting to call him Rick. His name's not Rick.
It's not, it's Jet, but
Jet. Yeah. This is what I think it was for Jet. With him. I really liked what they did with Alyssa. Where
I
she's
totally
doing that,
agree.
Me too.
she's standing him off with that gun, and she. I like that not everybody has to be a good person in this
Yes.
like particular anime, and especially with her, it's like her complaints are, "You were too reliable."
Yeah.
It's like I couldn't take it because I couldn't be my own person. I'm like, you know what? it's valid for you to say that. And also, oh, you brat.
I know.
There's some choices in this anime that I'm always amazed by in terms of like the editing and the cutting and stuff like that. For an instance, in this episode, when they're at the bar, Jet's at the bar with Alyssa, and there are these weird shots where it cuts like on individual words to Alyssa while she's talking. It's like, and at that point,
that scene stood out to me too.
Yes, that is like at that point you know that like she has moved. She is a different person. She has moved on. It's like, you know, in an editing way, those words. Man, I wish I wrote down those words, because the words that it cuts to are like indicators that this is not the same person. And it was so awkward and quick, but it's for a purpose. And I thought that was such a smart choice. And it's things like that that made me so excited that you could do something like that in animation. You know, like we don't really see stuff like that.
Absolutely. And then when Rent was, I think that was his name, Rent, Rhint.
Rent.
Yeah.
Rent. Yeah. When he was flicking his lighter and then recalling like how he got into the situation in the first place, and then they had it as a, you know, completely different color palette, and you knew that it was like a flashback sepia-tone, but also like timed with him trying to just get that lighter done.
It's so noir,
I was like, this is a
and
nice,
I love it.
yes,
I was
such a
gonna
nice
say
tension build.
both of the episodes about Jet were very film noir.
for
Both
sure. For
this
sure.
and the episode 16, Black Dog Serenade, where you find out
What
that his
happened with
old
Arm.
partner
The prison
betrayed
break
him.
one.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
they had caught that assassin guy that was on the prison ship, and that was when like Jet got shot, and he thought that the assassin guy had shot him, but it turns out it was his partner because he was on the payroll of the syndicate. And
It's just, it's so
It's like,
good.
you can't trust anyone in the future.
no.
It's so good and so tragic, and I love it so much, man.
Yeah, I had forgotten how good Jet's backstory was. I
It's probably my
love
favorite, I think.
Jet as a character.
Me too.
I just the way he's characterized and his little, like, he's sort of like a very fussy middle-aged man, like with his bonsai trees, and he's always yelling at people about you know, the state of his ship, and he's cooking for everybody. But and then he has like this great backstory of being part of the ISSB. But
It's heartbreaking, man.
Yeah.
You know, and we also, I do think that that's my favorite backstory.
Sure.
Okay.
And he's the, you know, like, it's interesting how they deliver his backstory and Faye's backstory compared to Spike's, because Spike's is like so mysterious still and so like.
Yeah,
Right?
I was gonna say, because I feel like with both Jet and with Faye's backstory at this point, we've started sort of at the beginning. We
Yes.
have a sense of where these people came from and how they ended up where they are. Spike, we're still only seeing things in bits and pieces, though in Jupiter Jazz, we finally hear the name Julia, which is, of course, very important
Yes.
to
Right.
the plot overall.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, what convinces Spike to go off on this, to hunt down this bounty.
I enjoy that we get such a visceral response
yeah.
from him when, you know, that, you know, gang of hooligans thinks that he's vicious.
Yeah.
And then it's
Yeah.
like, boom!
You don't
I don't
know
even need this man.
Oh, man.
Man, it just went to town, and then it looked like Faye was gonna like.
Oh man,
You know,
It was
I
like
thought
going
this
through.
story
Yeah.
with her and Gren was super interesting.
Yeah.
Super. They went there, and I
Yeah.
was here for it. You know, I was like, okay, I'm on this train.
Yeah,
Let's do this.
And the,
let's
and the
go
thing
down this
too,
road.
where he like brings her back to his place and says, you know, I don't have any interest in women. I mean, one of the things that Sunrise wanted to do with Cowboy Bebop was deal with these mature themes, and I do truly believe that it's not because of the hormones that like that character is truly meant to be either homosexual or asexual. And I think that's just such a good storytelling choice. It's so much more interesting to have her end up at the apartment of this very attractive guy and not hook up with him. You know what I mean? Because it feels like in a less sophisticated story, that would be what it is. Like, she would sleep with him for information, but instead,
we've been there before.
Yeah,
Instead,
exactly.
we got gender exploration.
Yeah.
So, you know, I really appreciated that because just slight sidetrack. I was never really on board with what they did with Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune in the original.
Oh,
right, in the original with that where it's like, oh, they're cousins.
Stop
you
it.
know,
No,
they couldn't possibly, you know,
Nope.
be. And
Side note,
Okay.
if I go to my YouTube, the first thing that comes up if I'm gonna search for something is like Haruka Michiru cousins,
Oh,
because
right.
I've lurked for compilations of them saying they're cousins so many times to use in like panels and stuff about Sailor Moon. But Anyway,
There we
continue.
go. Now I'm telling you, like that one episode, and I don't remember the title of it, but it was like Sailor Jupiter going to the dock with Sailor Uranus, and everybody's like, and then she's
They're
on
like,
the communicator
yes,
with everybody
we're
else.
cousins, and she's like blushing. What?
Like, this doesn't make any sense. But that's an exploration of sexuality. I like that there was the gender exploration for this particular one because it's like, yes, we come in more than just two flavors.
Totally.
It's like, there's that spectrum.
And they take the name Julia as like their code name, which I think is like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
huge because they have that backstory on Titan with Vicious,
Sure.
where Vicious gives the music box to him at the time.
Oh,
and,
that's
Yeah.
right.
yeah,
right.
like, and
Yeah, when they were fighting in the war
and because
together.
of that, like he loves that song so much that they took the name, code name Julia. I'm like, wow, this is deep.
It got the layers.
I think that was one of the things was that with Gren is you were seeing a character who, because of this experimentation, is essentially, sort of trans. I mean, she says, I'm both a man and a woman, and it seems like it's something that he's come to terms with.
Yeah,
in a way,
to the point that Grimm's so cool had a gun drawn while in the shower. It was just like, hey, let's talk this out.
Yeah, and Faye's like,
I was like, oh my god!
Yeah.
It's like, dude, what are you on? How do I get some?
Yep.
And I love I totally forgot for a second about the two characters in the beginning at the end who talk about like a star has fallen and that person.
Oh yeah, the way that they framed it.
Yeah.
Where it's like this pathetic warrior, this pathetic fool.
Yeah.
And that whole episode, it starts off as if the whole team's gonna they do split off, but I love how it's literally a full circle.
Yeah,
like,
and they all end up coming back
this person's
together.
looking for this person's looking for this person's looking for this, and it all connects. I love that. It's so gratifying for me. And the scene where Spike sends Gren away is just like, it's like, damn, dude, just hits you right
It
here.
is. It's really interesting because, for all intents and purposes, it is an ensemble cast. It is about the four sort of main characters, but Spike is kind of a little bit more of a lead character than Faye or Ed or Jet. And he's so kind of cool and carefree for the most part and very like lackadaisical and drunken master with his martial arts. But there is this real darkness to him that we definitely see a little bit in this episode. And
sure.
Markeia, you mentioned the scene where they bring up Vicious. And
It was just like, ooh, he got triggered.
And also how triggered he was hearing the name Julia. And he's like, I'm going to Callisto immediately.
I'm going to go find my woman.
Yep.
You go find yours.
Faye, who's run off with their money, but they didn't really have
their
very much money.
antifreeze. Who thinks of doing that? Where it's like, I'm not only going to take all their fuel or whatever to leave them stranded. They're going to be uncomfortable while they're there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so all three of those backstory episodes I just love so dang much. But I do also enjoy the episodes that focus around Ed, like the mushroom episode.
Oh yeah, Mushroom Samba.
and the chess episode.
That
So good.
It's just this crazy old man. They just can't catch a break with bounties, you know. So
I
it's
know.
like,
I know.
You know, like just let
I know
him.
that's the. I mean, that is sort of the moral of Cowboy Bebop is they're always going after these bounties and realizing, we've made a horrible mistake. Just go about your life. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, we'll run out of food in 2 weeks, but we'll figure something else out.
Yeah. Because I mean, basically, they show up to the Chessmaster Hex and they're like, "Oh, you are a senile old man. All you can do is play chess." Because the whole story with him was that he had been like the person behind the prototypes for the hyperspace gates.
Yeah.
And then he decided that they weren't really good. So he programmed in like an automatic thing to happen when there was supposed to be maintenance on them, like scheduled annual maintenance.
Talk about revenge served.
Yes.
Hold.
It was so good.
50-year-old revenge.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
I couldn't even
man.
imagine having that huge of a grudge with someone, where it's just like at this point of time in my life, be like, yeah, I'm going to schedule this email or something to go to them at this particular time.
Yep.
5 years from now. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's a strong grudge.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do like that they, I think 'cause Spike says, like just let him go because we don't want Ed to lose his chess partner.
Yeah,
It's like,
her
they
favorite
do
chess
kinda
partner.
Care.
Yeah.
They do care about each other. Like, we get hints of that I think in these last episodes.
Oh,
It's like-
definitely.
Yeah, because I know that they play it as if they're so like they really don't like each other. Like they're nakama, but they don't really care if whether the person leaves or whatever, but they do. I think it shows like hints of that they're good people, and that's the struggle with this whole show is that they put on this whole hard face as we talked before, but on the deep down they're actually like good people.
Yeah, well, they don't want something super bad to happen. I mean, despite the fact that his name's not Rick, it's Jet. Okay, despite the fact that Jet's like this huge hulking guy with one metal arm, he also has bonsai trees, and when he gets really, really high, he just talks and giggles with them.
Oh, like that was so great. Wow.
And like with all three of their trips in that episode, like crack me up. I haven't seen that episode in years, and oh my god, it's still so funny.
Yeah, like Spike's existential crisis of like ascending the stairway to heaven into eternal darkness,
and Faye in the bathroom with like a bunch of swimming with fish, like.
When she comes back too, she has toilet paper in her mouth. I'm like, what were you doing?
I love these kinds of episodes because it kind of shows too just what like. I still don't know like, another anime that would like do it this well, like that.
Yeah,
that is ready to go like and do something, break the norm, and do something like this as a one-off episode, you know, and not take away too much from the main overarching like story of each character. So
yeah, I mean, I did have some issues with Mushroom Samba with the depiction of certain characters.
I wanted to actually
buying a watermelon.
I thought about you during that stuff.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, they're super cool, but in that whole, you know, there's only so many ways that characters like this can exist in our anime, so this is one of the boxes that we will put them in.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, at least the outfits are pretty cool.
They did have pretty cool outfits.
I did enjoy the Ed moments that you had in there, where she like had a peanut in her spandex pocket.
So funny.
And she's like, oh, good.
And everyone's just like...
I also just loved, I really enjoyed in this episode that Ed got to have some of her own agency, because the thing is, a lot of the time in episodes, she doesn't really do too much. She just kind of floats around the outside and she says funny things. And I think she's one of the cutest anime characters that's ever existed. The animator's so freaking cute. But in this episode, she, when everyone was tripping out, went, okay, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to go collect the bounty while everyone's tripping out, and I'm going to get food, and it's going to be good. And then she comes back with a bag full of mushrooms that unfortunately are not psychedelic mushrooms and not worth any money.
But then when she was trying out the psychedelic ones, she literally like trick poisoned the rest of the crew. Where she's like, I don't know if this is good. I'm going to put it on this plate and then just watch. They don't have to eat it. Kind of thing. But to go back to okay, because you have 3 black characters in Mushroom Samba, and then they just tend to so all of them are from blaxploitation era with it, where it's like a Foxy Brown character, Cleopatra Jones character, and then and then the
I mean, it was a specific choice on their part, clearly, but it is there's. Yeah, I understand the issues.
On the one hand, fun.
Sure.
And then on the other, I really like that Black Dog Serenade was before this, because then you got like that assassin type character.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, he was great.
He was a great character.
So it was good. It had levels.
I understand the Mushroom Samba issue for sure, though I like to think that in the end, that Domino, the girl, the black girl bounty hunter, managed to actually get the bounty on the guy that sold them the fake mushrooms. You know, and on
Domino.
There's a fan fiction of it out there. You know,
I'm sure there is. Yeah. Many fan fiction have been written about Domino because she was.
Well, I think Domino was the guy that they were going after. Domino.
Oh, yeah. What was the girl's name?
I don't
remember.
I don't remember
her name.
I don't know what her name was.
Yes, yes. Domino Walker was the one that was selling the mushrooms.
The one with
had
the hat with like the corks on it. I think.
Yeah. I think I was thinking Domino because isn't that the name of
Deadpool 2?
Yeah, exactly.
Zazie Beetz. Zazie Beetz is Domino. Yeah.
She's got the hair. Okay.
Hair is tight black clothing.
I was like, where did I get that from? Alrighty, how we doing on time there, Matt?
Oh, yeah, it's about that time.
All right. Well, it is about the time to wrap things up here. Markeia, thank you so much
Thanks so much for having me on.
joining us on the show
fun.
today. I really, really appreciated your insight. I'm very glad we had you here for
Me too.
Mushrooms.
Me too.
if only that one.
Because otherwise it's a bunch of white-ish. I mean, Matt's Cuban and Michelle's
Cuban,
Asian.
Michelle's Asian.
I'm real white, sitting around being like, ooh, blaxploitation episode. Anyway, this is why representation matters, guys.
Yes,
remember,
right.
if,
That's right.
It does matter.
if you don't have a way of watching Cowboy Bebop, you can use that code over on Funimation, which is, I'm going to say it wrong. I got to look at it again. It is Hyper, MHA, and the capitalization does matter for the code. So it's Hyper with a capital H, the rest lowercase, and then MHA all in caps. You'll see it somewhere in here, so you know exactly what to enter over on Funimation to get $5 off your first month subscription for first-time subscribers.
Yes.
Remember, this is only available for the first 500 people who take advantage of it, so get on it. Also, next week is going to be the last week that we are talking about Cowboy Bebop here on Anime Club. So let us know what you want us to cover next. We got that sweet promo going on with Funimation. If it's something on Funimation, that's totally cool.
Like I said, the library is deep.
It's
so.
very deep. So take a look. Netflix, Hulu, any streaming services, and let us know what anime series you would like us to cover next. Markeia, thank you once again for joining us today. Where can people find you on the internet? Because you're all over it.
Well, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty. That's MarkeiaMcCarty. But yeah, I do Collider Heroes on Wednesdays, Marvel Movie News on Tuesdays. We're here for Hyper. I do 10 candles.
Yeah,
Yes.
Markeia has died a lot.
I have.
And she's
I've died
also
3
done
times.
a killer job.
Yes.
A good job.
Yeah, you're supposed to die on 10 candles.
Super fun. And that's
Hope
Mondays
fading
at
away.
6.
Yes.
Like, check that out.
Yeah.
Here at Hyper.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, remember to let all of your friends know about Anime Club. Invite them over here.
Yeah.
Have them come
Yay.
chat with us about great anime series, old and new. We will see you guys next time. And until then, this meeting of the HyperOtaku Anime Club is adjourned.
Bye.